Hey there, it's Dave Penyuk of Revenue.com coming at you with a quick real estate investing video tip. Today's tip, how to calculate cash flow. Now, with calculating cash flow, newbie investors often make a fairly large mistake, and that is calculating cash flow without including all of the operating expenses. Big mistake. But before we talk about operating expenses and what they are, let's just talk about calculating cash flow and how do you calculate it. There's three major components: your monthly rental income, less your monthly financing or mortgage payment, less your operating expenses, and that equals your cash flow. Is it positive, neutral, or negative? So what are your operating expenses? Well, this is a pretty exhaustive list of all the different expenses that you will incur on a property. Property taxes, heat and or hydro and electricity. With those ones, you definitely want to find out who is paying for the heat and hydro and electricity. Is it your tenant? Is it yourself? And even if it is your tenant, make sure you find out what those are on a monthly basis, because your tenant might not always pay for the heat, hydro, and electricity, or if it's vacant, you have to pay for it. So you want to know what that is. Garbage, sewage, recycling fees, those are usually part of your utility bill. You can easily find that out. It could just be an annual charge, but look into that. Property insurance, you need to have your property insured. Talk to your broker, your insurance broker, to make sure you have an estimate of what that property will cost you to insure every year. Condo or strata fees, pretty self-explanatory. If it's not a condo or a townhouse, you will not have to worry about these fees. Property management fees, very important that you look into your local market and talk to a few property managers to find out what their fees would be on this particular type of property, because you may not always manage that property, so you want to have a sense of how much that's going to charge, and that will obviously impact your cash flow. And finally, repairs and maintenance and miscellaneous costs. These are anything from mowing the lawn to painting the unit or property when your tenant moves out, to shoveling the snow in the winter. You again want to make sure you put aside at least 5 to 10% of your rental income to go towards your repairs, maintenance, and miscellaneous costs. But make sure you find out what they might be and who's going to pay for them. What spreadsheet can you use to track all this information? Well, we're an affiliate with Real Data, and you can go to revenue.com/express.html to learn more about that and to get a good deal, a great deal on their useful spreadsheets for tracking your income and operating expenses. You can also become a Revenue with Real Estate student. Any of our REM students, they get access to a whole bunch of different spreadsheets we've put together to help you track your income and expenses. Or, of course, you can create your own spreadsheet. Now, if you don't know the expenses, a quick rule of thumb is to use 35 to 40% of the fully occupied rental income. So you can apply that as operating expenses, but again, that's on fully occupied rented basis for the year. But that's a good general rule of thumb you can use. But always find out the details when you are going to purchase. For making more real estate with Revenue.com. For making more revenue with real estate, check out Revenue.com.